welcome everyone to another episode of Franklin and Douglas, where we talk about current events and give you bad advice. I'm Franklin, and with me, as always, is my buddy Douglas. Double D, how's it going?
Fabulous as always. How you been?
I can't complain. Another week down, still here.
That's all that matters, right?
Exactly. I am loving the fact that fall is around the corner,
hmm
although it's still 100 degrees. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, week's been pretty good. So, how's your week been?
Well, I had my brother and sister-in-law over to help me set up my first ever Halloween tree. I know.
Halloween tree?
I know. It's basically my Christmas tree, which is white, but having Halloween decorations and Halloween lights on it.
Okay. And then you're gonna transition into turkey and then Christmas?
Well, maybe if you join me for this year's holiday celebrations, you can help me decorate it to the next holiday.
Word on the street is that might be happening. So, okay.
I
That's
realize
great.
the older I'm getting, the more kitschy decorating and hobbies I'm getting into. I mean, before you know it, I'll have my own granny tickety talk channel where I pour myself tea and like tell stories of the 90s, how we used to drop it low back in my day.
Drop it low, man. Drop it low. Okay. Well,
What
that's
we have to look
great. I'm
forward
glad.
to. Yeah.
Exactly. That's good. I'm glad that you got that going on. Yeah, you did send me a picture of it. Now, is that on the front door, your little happy
Yes.
Halloween? That's cute. Yeah, I like
Yes.
that one.
The lady who does my hair, which don't judge right now, it's in transition. The lady who does my hair
So
makes
are you.
wreaths. Yeah, it makes wreaths and stuff like that. So really cute. She did a really good job. So
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah, that's really good. Make sure you promote her, get that stuff out. So,
heck yeah.
all right. So, what topic do you have for us today?
So on the last episode, we spoke about the presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. One of
Mm-hmm.
the sticky memes of this debate has been the topic of immigrants eating the neighborhood pets of the citizens of Springfield,
Oh
Ohio.
my God, yes.
I know you're
What was
seeing all
that?
the memes of cats like being careful where they go and Alf the alien with a cat in a hamburger bun, what have you. Been all over the place.
I mean, what are you guys out there doing in Ohio?
Like I mentioned, I grew up and was raised in Ohio, and I have family and friends living in Ohio. So I was really concerned that, my family could be eating dogs and cats and had to check up on them. Turns out they weren't, thankfully.
So, yeah, I mean, what was the whole thing behind that? What was the reasoning of saying that? I mean, was it just a shock value, or is there some truth behind it?
Well, that's what we're going to discuss today, where this rumor came from or how it started.
Hmm.
So the fear mongering through the right regarding Haitian immigrants is creating issues in this community of Springfield, Ohio. First off, how did we get here? For context, Springfield is about 45 miles from Columbus in Southwest Ohio, so further down, which has had thousands of Haitian immigrants settle there in recent years. Many of them are there legally under federal programs, regardless of what people may be hearing, after fleeing political turmoil and violence. NBC reported that the residents and political leaders, including JD Vance, have for months raised economic and public safety concerns, asserting that an influx of as many as 20,000 immigrants to a city in 2020 counted a population of 59,000 has
Hmm.
strained resources. So their concerns is in the last census, because we don't have recent census data, so they don't have the exact numbers quite yet. But in the
Hmm.
1970s, the population of that town like sharply dropped, and
Okay.
so you had storefronts empty, not a lot of bodies there to work, what
Hmm.
have you, and now all of a sudden you have a large influx of immigrants just kind of boosting up that population. The concerns are the strains on housing, the strains of federal programs that is offered to the immigrants as well. So that's some of the things that they've been bringing out there. Reuters has a great article that I can link to in our subject about how the resources are being allocated and, where they feel like their struggles are coming from. You have,
So,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but so what is in, I mean, every town, small town has something that they're bringing. What is driving people to go to Springfield, Ohio?
Some of the articles I was reading was some of them, first off, the housing at the time was cheaper there. Cost of
Mhm.
living is cheaper there in Ohio. Some had even mentioned that they had friends there. So it's just kind of like word of mouth from friends and family that go over there. They say, hey, I'm here. Cost of living's cheap. Come join us out here. So those are some things that I was reading from interviews with the actual immigrants as to why they
Okay.
went to Ohio and Springfield
Okay.
specifically.
Okay. And so then we're there, we're out here now and we're living. How did we get to eating dogs and cats?
Well, glad you asked. So, rumors of pets being eaten are more recent, though. This is not like an old rumor that's been going on. This is very
Mhm.
recent. Started with one of the earliest posts were from a neo-Nazi group called the Blood Tribe that had started to spread the rumor on Truth Social and Gab. The rumor gained steam by crossing over to X, or formerly known as Twitter, and was shared by conservatives like Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk, and JD Vance. So on August 27th, you had a man who described himself as an influencer at a Springfield City Commission meeting claiming he seen immigrants chopping off the heads of geese at a park. By September 6th, NBC reported 1,100 posts on X mentioning Haitians and migrants eating pets, cats, dogs, and geese. Like insane, right?
I mean, have you done research on Haitians and the background?
I have not done research on their background. I concentrated my research on where people were getting their proof from and their
Mhm.
stories from. Because for me, even if Haitians had a diet of geese,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna sit there and substantiate claims that they were going out the parks and kidnapping random geese and killing them. you know,
Yeah, I mean, I think the claim that Haitians eat dogs is false and it's a stereotype. It's a myth, and I think it comes from movies and
hmm
kind of things like that. It's it's a stigmatism I think that Haitians immigrants have always had, and it can be very harmful and misleading to people. But you look at movies. I can't remember which movie it is, but they always have the a Haitian man and you know in the basement. And, he's got his pot going and there's cats and dogs all over the place. And so I think it comes from that as well,
yeah,
and plain ignorance also.
right.
And so, but if you're telling me that there were 10 dogs on the block and now there's only 5, where are the dogs?
You might have an Alf loose
I don't
capturing the
know, but
pets.
right, right. But
Yeah,
yeah,
by no
that's
means am I saying that I believe that that is their lifestyle back in
yeah,
Haiti, but
yeah.
I didn't even want to like entertain the idea.
Mhm. We have a friend that is Haitian. We should
Yes, we
bring that
do.
person on. Yeah, bring that person on and have them discuss it.
You're right. I should have messaged her.
But yeah, I think that it is. Yeah, again, I think this is people's ignorance and
Oh
uh,
yeah.
what they think they know and don't know, and for Donald Trump to say something like that on national TV with an entire world watching him, as dangerous, and for him to say, um, and it just paints a bad light on that group,
Yeah.
and again, now you're going to be having people in the streets fighting and or whatnot. But
Yeah.
that is, when he said it, it was just, I text you, I was like, dude, what, you out there eating dogs?
I know.
But yeah, it's funny, but it's not, because
Yes.
again, that community, the Haitian community or the immigrants, whoever, can be targeted. Those are scary words to say.
Hmm.
And just like we know that he probably incited the riot January 6th, and it's those words are hateful
Right.
and are very dangerous. And so you have to be very careful of what you're saying and things like that. And so I think that Kamala did a good job in diffusing it, but it's out there. It was out there, and continues to be out there.
Well, and this is so Monday before the debate, and this is where I think he got his information from. But
Hmm.
JD Vance had made a post regarding this on X,
Oh,
which
oh, JD.
yeah, your boy JD, which prompted the Springfield police officials to release to the Springfield News Sun and then later on to national media that they had received no credible reports of such incidents. As we saw in the debate, they also had to correct Trump and say that they reached out to Springfield and that they said there's no credible
My
instances.
husband David, he was like, yeah, that's not true.
And then Vance issued a follow up to the post the next day, writing that his office had received reports of pets or local wildlife being abducted by Haitian migrants. And then he followed it up with saying, it's possible, of course, that all these rumors will turn out to be false. Well, he already put it out there. Like he already, not saying that
Yeah.
he's the one that originally did it, but like we saw, you have neo Nazis originally putting this out there, and he is now reposting that.
Hmm.
And to sit there and like after the fact be like, oh, they might be false. The damage is already done.
You've already said it. People already think it. Now poor little Fido has got to stay inside the house now.
Well, and Trump has been hanging out with this Laura Loomer, who is a conspiracy theorist as well, and she's also been pushing this. So, he said he saw it on TV. Personally, I don't think he saw it on TV. I think he's just going off of what the people around him are telling him.
Okay, so now who is she?
So Laura Loomer, she tried to run for office in Florida for a couple of different positions. She didn't. She kind of got struck down. With not knowing her full background, she is just known for her far right conspiracy theories and has been hanging around Trump recently with this whole
Whispering,
campaign schedule.
whispering in his ear, telling him
Yes.
they're eating the dogs.
Yes.
What kind of conspiracy theories has she been talking about? Do you know?
Um.
Because
uh,
interesting to to know what she has been. I like conspiracy theories. You know me.
oh, yes. So she promoted that 9/11 was an inside job. That was one of her conspiracy theories. And
I
so
mean, mm,
oh, don't keep
okay.
pushing that. And she was with him at the 9/11 memorial, if I remember correctly. Let me see.
Oh, is it that lady in the pink shirt?
She has like dark hair.
Yes. Okay, I saw a picture. Somebody quoted, "They're sleeping together."
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, she
Okay.
joined Trump in New York and Pennsylvania as he commemorated the 9/11. So yeah, this person that's saying it's an inside job is hanging out with Trump at these 9/11 ceremonies.
We might need to get her on the show and talk about this.
Listen, I would love to have some next level crazy on the show. I'll be more than happy to have her on here.
I think 9/11 was an inside job as well.
But all right, moving on back to the subject at hand.
I
So,
mean, The Simpsons. No, it wasn't The Simpsons. It was Cartman and his gang.
oh,
You remember that episode?
no, which one?
About 9/11 being an
Oh,
inside job.
yes, yes. I thought you were going to say something about eating pets. Like, no,
Oh,
kitty.
yeah, no, no. No kidding, my cheesy puffs. No. All right, I'm sorry. Re Derailed there for a second,
I
but
also want to
okay.
add that we are not professional voice actors and cannot imitate other characters that well. I'm just going to put it out there.
I can
So, you know, like so people are posting photos of a man holding a goose that turned out to be a man from Columbus, Ohio, not Springfield. You have people posting a video of a woman eating a cat in Ohio, claiming that this was evidence of the migrants doing what they were claimed that they were doing, eating cats. It turns out the video was from an incident in Canton, Ohio, of a woman who was born in Ohio, not a migrant, and not Haitian, and she was experiencing a mental health crisis. So since
So
I'm
they're
not
still
sure,
eating dogs and cats out there in Ohio.
one person.
So at the end of the day, y'all out there barbecuing dogs and cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
I saw it on TV.
I saw it on TV, and the internet doesn't lie.
So I'm sure not everyone is familiar with Ohio, but Canton is about 170 miles away from Springfield. So,
Home of the NFL Hall of Fame?
oh yeah. Maybe we'll go see it one day.
Maybe.
Now that I'm a professional fantasy sports football player.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to go see the Raiders Hall of Fame portion, and then we can leave.
I heard they just have a small shadow box.
Oh my God. Do not bring that up again. That's a whole nother episode.
That's a different episode.
Jeez Louise.
So what we have now in the wake of pushing this narrative is Haitian
Mm.
residents that were interviewed saying they're living in fear. Some have kept their kids out of school the day after the debate. A
As they
resident
should.
a resident had reported that their car windows being smashed in and had security camera footage showing so. You had
They're gonna. So now what's going to happen is that, okay, this small town that was small before, and then got this influx of people where you said 29,000 or some odd more people. All of those people are going to leave. Now what's going to happen? Okay, you're going to go back to the old ways, and maybe that's what they want. But cost of living and all that stuff, everything is going to change if 30,000 people leave
right.
your community. Okay, and because you're this former president is sitting out there saying that these people are eating dogs and cats.
Yeah.
So no, pack your bags. Let's go.
Well, you have other Haitians that are afraid to give their names or be on camera during these interviews.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, no, I just listened to
I
one.
would be interviewing on the way out of Springfield. This is
Yelling out the window.
I got your dog. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. So I hope they all pack up and leave.
Well, and so on top of, not only the residents being affected and being bullied and that, you have now the city of Springfield, as of us recording this, has had 2 days in a row of bomb threats with having to close, city offices, closing, I believe it's so far just been one school in the area, but having to close schools because of these bomb threats. Right now, like I said, as of this recording, none of them have come out and said that this was specifically because of the debate or what have you. But the mayor, Rob Rue, would not comment on the precise language of the threat, but said it came from someone claiming to be from Springfield and mentioned frustration with the city related to Haitian immigration issues.
That's really too bad.
Yeah.
Now we've got a different light on Springfield, and well, hopefully, someone sends support that way and kind of and start looking into it, because I would hope that there might be some sort of what do you call it, some sort of turmoil going on, and the poor Haitian immigrants are going to be the ones getting hurt behind this.
Oh yeah.
So,
and like I mentioned earlier, you also have a neo-Nazi group called the Blood Tribe, who had a dozen members march in Springfield with rifles. A member of their group was ejected from a city commission meeting on August 27th. In August of 2022, the the KKK had passed out recruitment flyers or dispersed the recruitment flyers around Springfield, according to the NAACP. So this is a community that, even before this, has been getting, some groups in there trying to put some fear into the residents on top
Hmm.
of it all. So,
That's that's crazy. It's like we talk about where we live and everything, and California is not the end all, and it's expensive to live here and everything, but
mhm,
um, I could never imagine living in some of these small towns and these sundown towns as they still call them,
mhm,
and these areas where unfortunately people that look like me are not welcomed.
right.
And even you know you know gay people and whatnot, they're not welcomed in these towns, and there is nothing there to protect us.
Mhm,
And so, yeah, I'll pay $1 million for a one-bedroom apartment in California for my safety.
right.
You know, it's really too bad that this is those people are going through that, because this man has said this on national TV, and it's bringing a negative spotlight onto the area. So
Yeah, it's
hopefully
just
it
frustrating
works
to me
itself
that
out.
that politicians can make these unresearched claims that not
Hmm.
only help rile up their base but negatively affect the communities that they're supposed to represent. Like
Right, right. And
that.
what did he say? Well, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I saw it on TV.
I saw it on the
Ugh.
TV. Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. I hope that it works itself out, and
Yeah,
the spotlight is doesn't become more negative than it is right now.
right. Agreed.
Yeah. So on to something more, more exciting and happier.
For
You got
real.
any good? You got any non-eating dog topics?
Yeah, now that I'm all riled up. So we do have some questions that I've pulled from Reddit's advice category. If you'd like for us to answer your request for advice, please DM us on our socials or comment. Maybe your question will appear on our next episode. As always, we want to remind our audience that we are not trained professionals, and our advice should not replace trained professional help. But what do we always say, Franklin?
If we survive the San Francisco Castro,
Hmm,
and you can too, and we can help you through life.
true that. So the first question that I have here is from user Tehemari. They labeled their question as what will help with aches and pains from working. So their question is, I feel so dumb for complaining because everyone else I work with seems fine. My job isn't hard and I work in retail. I know others have it way worse, so I don't understand why I'm in so much pain. I only worked for 6 hours yesterday. I just stand the entire time, minus a 15-minute break. My joints hurt so much and everything comes in waves. My calves, feet, and shoulders also hurt a lot. I'm not very active outside of work, but I work almost every day. Thought my body would be used to it by now. I hydrate a lot when I'm at work. I just don't know what the issue is or how to make it better.
You're a
So,
slug outside of work. You don't move. First of all, 6 hours on your feet, that's child's play.
true.
I think that what was our 9.5, or was it 9.7 hours?
Yeah,
What
9.5 was the minimum.
9.5 was the minimum. I'm doing my 9.5 and I'm out. Well, hopefully you don't have anything medically wrong with you, but for
Yeah.
your joints to be hurting like that. But take some vitamins, take some what is it? Joint pain medicine or something like that.
Is it
Um,
CoQ10 or something like that?
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that doesn't sound right. I mean, and then if you're not moving on the weekend or when your day's off, then yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Hey,
You go
listen,
standing.
retail will kill you. Sometimes on the weekend, I didn't want to move either.
Exactly. I'm like, now my shoulder is still, I'm having to go to physical therapy for my shoulder that
Oh,
is like still dislocated 15 years now. My ribs are still out of place from putting gables up.
oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, the aches and pains that you're going to feel now versus years later, trust me, take those little aches and pains, your calves, and if you get yourself a standing mat, one of those gel mats, and some compression socks. Man, if we knew what compression socks were back in the day, and some
Right?
some back supports and stuff like that to help us, man.
Yeah.
Get some compression socks, do some stretches. I always have my team start off with during our huddles stretches to make sure that they're warming their bodies up and
Hmm.
you know and whatnot. But 6 hours again, that's child's play. When you hit, call me up when you hit 8.5, 9, 10, 12 hours. That's when your body should be hurting, you know. But if you're just standing there greeting the customers as they come in, no, you something else is going on with you. Hopefully, you can go get that checked out. Do some jumping jacks.
Right. Well, let me tell you, if this is what you plan on continuing to do for work, like you were mentioning, good luck. Because if
Yeah,
the body aches don't get you, the mental abuse from customers may have side effects of cynicism towards the general population. So,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, so I thought back at our times of retail. I'm like, well, what could we have done to take it easier in our bodies? And I thought of some instances where you could maybe fake a leg injury and then someone will just push you around the store in a wheelchair. I mean, but
Oh
it's
my
good that you're
god.
hydrating because I know when we used to work together, sometimes we'd be out till like what, 3, 4 in the morning at the clubs and then come back at 6 a.m. dehydrated
And
as hell
and open up the store.
and open up. I think you'll
Some of
be
our
okay. I
some
think
of
your
our
body will get
coworkers were
adjusted.
just
Yeah.
some of our coworkers are just sitting in receiving.
Yes. Yeah. Should have went
Oh
on
my
that
god.
plan.
Okay. But no, yeah, I think that you have you need to make sure that you're stretching before your shift, depending on what it is you're doing. You're saying your legs are hurting, but yeah, do some stretches, get some compression socks,
Hmm.
uh, all that. Yeah, and you should be fine.
And a bottle of ibuprofen.
That's true.
All right. So moving on to our last one here from user I Miss You. Their
I miss you
question
too.
is, or it's titled, how do you deal with family members having loud sex? So the user goes on to say, I'm 17, and last summer, my brother's girlfriend moved in with us being my mom and I. They're always having super loud sex. She's a screamer, and I can hear my brothers a little bit, which is just gross. They do it all the time, and it makes me super uncomfortable, and it scares my dog. La- Last night,
At this point in time, the dogs need to be scared.
right. Last night, my mom had one of her boyfriends over, and they had super loud sex when I was trying to fall asleep. Then I got woken up by an earthquake at 7:30 a.m., and when I was trying to go back to sleep, they have even louder sex. I missed school today because I was so tired. I tried to talk to them about it, and they just laughed at me and told me to deal with it, but it's so gross. I was crying. I don't want to hear my mother having sex in the room next to me at 8 a.m. I told them that it's inconsiderate to have screaming sex when people are trying to sleep, but they disagreed. I sometimes have sex too, but I keep quiet so they don't make others uncomfortable. They told me that I just don't know what good sex is like and proceeded to make fun of me. It's
Poor
great for
thing.
them that they're having a good time, but I feel so gross and I would just like to be able to sleep. I don't know how to go about this situation because talking with them didn't help. Any advice?
Yeah, she's not getting good sex. But let's see. That's yeah, that is kind of gross to hear your mom doing it.
Right? Right? I mean, what is going on in this household?
That they're all having sex. I bet you they'd stop it if she just goes sits in there with them with a notepad. So, yeah, go walk in. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? Walk in there. Hey,
like
mom,
like the form.
like the form. Hey, mom, are you gonna make me lunch before, or after you Could you wash your hands? Poor thing. And she's 17. She needs to get a job and move out.
Right, right.
Oh man, that's disgusting. The brother and the girlfriend is one thing, but the mom, ew.
I mean, are they all competing in that house?
Must be. They must be. And the poor girl is losing.
Well,
Oh,
this
what do you think she should do?
this reminds me of the day that we met. We were both working on a cruise for the first time, remember? Became fast friends during orientation. What they failed to tell us was that it was a Bliss swingers cruise.
Mm.
I mean, I was on laundry duty for that trip, and you could hammer a nail with how stiff those sheets were. Ugh. But
Oh, those were the good old days.
those were the good old days. I mean, were they good old days? I don't know. It depends. But I would say set up a portable speaker by their door and blare some like zoo noises. You know, get like the chimpanzee cage going kind of noise. Or,
Or some Joel Osteen.
yeah, oh no, that'll kill the mood.
Precisely.
Or you could start doing some karaoke, you know, do some of that HOTTOGO. Or it's Britney, bitch. And then just boom,
Mm.
boom, boom.
Oh, did you see they did a tribute to Britney on the VMAs?
I did not. I don't watch the VMAs anymore. I'll have to check that out.
Okay, well, everybody did a tribute to Britney. And
Everybody?
everybody, like Megan Thee Stallion had the snake on her. Um,
Oh, I did
they
see
did a
that
couple of,
picture of Megan Thee
yeah,
Stallion.
and a couple of people did some other stuff, but it was good. I thought it was cute.
Good to know. I'll have to check it out.
Totally off subject, but Britney is always on subject.
Well, listen, if I had to be up all night listening to my mom and brother have sex, not with each other, then I might have to watch the Britney tribute to
There you
get
go.
as a brain cleanser.
That's true. That is true.
But that's all that
Well,
we had
hopefully,
for today.
yeah,
So,
hopefully she works that out. But
yeah.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, that was great. Good discussion here. Thank
Yeah.
you so very much. Look forward to next week.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for listening. Once again, please like, share, subscribe, get the word out there. Thumbs up. We'll take it.
Okay. Thank you again. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.